Hey, how's it going? Cowboy fans. Time for another cowboy conversation. And we had another L last night, bringing us to 3-4 on the season. Damn shame. Damn shame. So we had a decent game yesterday, but I guess as always, you got to point out all the things we did wrong. And number one was penalties, 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 penalties. Number two is play calling. So we go in there. We go in there too. First, so in essence, coaching. We lost yesterday because of coaching. We lost all of our games. In my opinion, we lost every game we've played that we've lost due to coaching. You know what I mean? These are coaching losses, bro. Anytime you losing games that are that close, and you can go back and say, well, if this would have happened, if that would have happened, then you know what I'm saying. If against the Seahawks, Ezekiel Elliott doesn't have 16 carries instead of, what I mean, compared to the other guys, 32 carries. If, we're not putting Dak in so many situations where he's trying to make magic happen with players who don't have any history of being number one or number two receivers in the league. Like, you got a gang, you put together a whole gang of guys who are trying to develop and grow. Understandable. You don't then go out and throw the ball 40 times a game so that they can grow and develop while you lose. Like that's unless that's your game plan in the beginning. Unless you've laid out, hey, we just want to lose this year. We're gonna tank it up. You know what I mean? Because that's what you're doing. You're going there, you're throwing it 40 times a game, and a team that could win a game if you played, you know what I'm saying, if you had an identity, if there was an identity for you to have, you know what I'm saying? Because there's one there, it's run it, play good defense. Run it, play good defense. When you get the ball on the 10-yard line and you ask your quarterback to drop back and go make something happen against a team who's shown you all game, they're going to bring pressure. They're tough. They're hard to block. You know what I mean? You run the ball. You escape. You escape that situation. You don't drop your quarterback back and tell him to throw the ball. You know what I mean? He's already been under the blue tent. But you want him to drop back into the end zone. And if I'm not mistaken, they did it twice. That was twice they did that. Drop back into the end zone. Things happen, bro. Bad things happen when you put yourself and you put your players in positions for them to happen like that. All you need to do is run the ball a couple times, get a little space, then get a quick dump off pass. If it works, great. If it doesn't, punt the ball. Let your defense continue to play great. You don't give up a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? And I don't blame that touchdown on Dak so much. I don't usually blame most of the mistakes he makes on him. Those are coaching mistakes. That's coaches putting the player in a bad position. He's still a third-year quarterback with inadequate receivers, bro. Like Gallup is coming out, but Gallup is a year away from being a receiver that's an NFL quality receiver. Like these guys aren't scared. Like Josh Norman and these other, they're not scared of our receivers. So yeah, they're gonna play man to man, and they're gonna bring the house. You know what I mean? Like why wouldn't they? You know what I'm saying? Who we have that's gonna scare them in man to man, other than Cole Beasley, who's gonna run a 5 to 10 yard route? You know what I mean? That's what they expect. And even if he's not running that, they're not gonna give him more than two of those catches a game. He's not gonna get more than two openings over the middle of the field for 20 or more yards. If he's had any of those, you know what I mean? But it was just his coaching, bro. It's always coaching. Ezekiel didn't eclipse 20 carries, I don't think. And I know they're gonna say, well, he got shut down. You don't get shut down. Your running game doesn't get shut down. You shut your running game down. It's one or the other. Either you're gonna shut it down or they shut you down. But you have to shut it down. They can't shut your running game down. Now, they were stopping them. They played great defense. Washington played great defense. I'm not gonna like not credit them. They played great defense. They have a good defense. They got a good team. And to me, due to coaching, I think they have the best team in NFC East. They have the best team in NFC East. And it just shows up. Like, the Giants are probably the worst team because offensive line and quarterback issues, which kind of compound each other. The quarterback isn't as bad. The offensive line isn't as bad, but together they're horrible. You know what I'm saying? So they're last. Then I guess the Eagles, because I'm not an Eagles fan, so that's why I'm gonna put them there. Um, and because they can't get it together. I thought they would lose to Carolina yesterday, and it actually looked like they were about to win, and they still lost. So I didn't watch it. I don't want to watch it. But what I do know is they seem to be just out of sorts. You know what I'm saying? Kind of hungover. I feel like they're probably gonna miss the playoffs, but it's a lot of season left. And it's a ton of season left for the NFC East. Even the Giants could get back in it. It's possible. It's possible, but won't happen. And again, man, like all of our games have been winnable games. It's real disheartening because the penalties killed us all game. Dak had a scramble on the first drive. I mean, he had like a 20-yard scramble. Holding brings it back. Um, let's see, like it's a bunch of plays. The Cole Beasley play late in the game where he throws it. Like I walked off and I think I warmed something up in the microwave. I'm thinking we had the first down. I come back and this is the plays where they're on the goal line. He ends up fumbling the ball and all hell broke loose or whatever. It's just ignorance. Like that's the type of stuff I'm saying. Like both of those are coaching. The penalty, that's coaching. You know what I mean? At some point, you got to coach your guys up to not be getting these penalties at big times in the game. Like it's a big play. It's a critical time in the game, and we got to hold them penalty. You know what I mean? Hey, you got to do better. Got to do better. But even if you know what I'm saying, you're not gonna put the holding penalty on the coaching, which you always put penalties on coaching. Understand? Penalties are coaching. That's coaches. You know what I mean? If you're not getting your players to control themselves out there, whatever the reason is, that's coaching. You know what I mean? You look at the Patriots, how many penalties do they normally have? Who's their coach? Look at the good teams in the NFL. Look at the good teams anywhere. How many penalties do they normally have? And then you look at the coach. There you go. Now you look at a bad team and look at the penalties that they accrue. And you look at the coach. And it's usually a young coach or an unproven coach like Jason Garrett, who's unproven. He hasn't proven anything to anybody other than Jerry Jones. And I guess he proved to him that he can be a husband or some shit. I don't know what exactly he proved to him, but he's unproven. He hasn't won many playoff games, and he probably like the games we won. Anybody could win those games. Anybody can coach the team to win against the Jaguars when it's rolling. You know what I mean? And they're missing their running back, their star running back, and their quarterback's a bum. You know what I'm saying, or whatever. Or he's playing like a bum, whichever one you want to call it. I mean, at this point, Blake Bortles is probably just a bum, but anybody can win those games. When your team is at 100% and your whole offensive line is, you know what I mean, just pushing everybody around. But when the chips get, you know what I'm saying, chips get down and it's getting tough, and you feel like you really need to make a play. By the way, let me give him a little credit. He did go for the fourth down, and we ended up, turning it over. Hey, I'm cool with that. And just to prove to you how cool I am with it, let me analyze that. Let me analyze it for you correctly. So, 4th and 1, he got the first down. Um, what was that guy, Swearinger, whatever his name is for the Redskins? He came in. He made a great play. He was playing great at the beginning of the game. He probably played great the whole rest of the game. They won. So he played great, but he made a great play. Like the way he hit Dak, I don't blame Dak for like, oh, you dropped the ball. Like he hit the ball. You know what I mean? He could have done better. Dak could have done better in the play, but it was one of those really good plays. He made a good play. Not gonna blame anybody. Not gonna really, you know what I mean, throw no shade about any of that. The play call was good. The execution was pretty good. He got the ball hit out of his hands. Next time he probably knows to protect it better. you know, stick it out, get the first down, and put it back to your body. Um, so I give him credit for going for it. You know what I'm saying? In that moment, I was saying, hey, he's coaching like a coach who's got hair on his face or hair somewhere on his body. You know what I'm saying? Where it counts the most. Um, so on your chest or something. Um, so that was that play call. But what I don't like about them is that, like, consistently when they're having troubles in the running game, I don't know, maybe they do come with different plays, but it seems like they consistently run the same plays over and over again, expecting a different result. Like, for example, Washington ran read options yesterday. They ran an option. Washington has Alex Smith. We have big old Dak Prescott, who can run the option better than, in my opinion, anybody in the NFL. In my opinion, Dak Prescott could probably run the read option better than anybody in the NFL, other than maybe Lamar Jackson, and probably better than him when it comes to like pitching the ball and making a decision. Like, that's what he do. He run the ball. You see, when he decides to take off and run now, we have success. It's easy because it's easy for a guy that big, that fast, that athletic, and that knowledgeable of running the ball from that position. You know what I mean? You got to look at what Mississippi State did. They ran the ball all the time. You know what I mean? And I say we because I watched the whole thing. I was with them when that whole Mississippi State run. So, like, for them to run the read option, Washington's running the read option with Alex Smith, a basically immobile quarterback. He's kind of mobile, semi-mobile. He's not Dak Prescott. He's not Cam Newton or anyone, even Aaron Rodgers. He's not any of those guys that you would consider a threat running the ball, you know. But yet they're running the read option, they're running an option, they're running it this way, they're running it that way. They're trying stuff out. They're running out the shotgun, they're running, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're switching it up. And us, we run it like the most generic, in your face. Also, we didn't run back to back times, but once the entire game, if I recall correctly. Maybe I missed a series where we ran it twice. It might have been twice we did it. We ran the ball back to back times once the entire game with our star running back, who's number 2 in the league rushing. I mean, yeah, that defense played good, bro. But it's easier to play defense good when people are putting themselves in bad positions. Like, if you just run the ball out of shotgun for the entire game in the NFL, you're probably gonna have trouble. You're probably not gonna run the ball that great. You might have one or two runs where you break it a little bit. You know what I mean? But if you're not switching it up, if you're not throwing something different at them, if they're not afraid of your receivers at all, and you're still running the same basic plays over and over again, getting no results. Like, I think we ran Jordan Lewis once around the edge, and he got a pretty good game. How many more times do we do that? How many more times do we do the play action with Schultz, where he can, get out there and have a quick pop? You know what I mean? See, when you overcomplicate things, like, you just set yourself up for failure. You gotta understand where you're at. You know what I mean? Like, and I feel like our coaches have never understood where they are. They want to be Bill Belichick and run the Patriots offense and chunk the ball around 40 times a game, but they don't have Tom Brady. And they're not Bill Belichick more than anything. Like, you're not Bill Belichick, bro. Your plays don't equate to Bill Belichick. You know what I mean? Your coaching doesn't equate to Bill Belichick. So, keeping it simple for your quarterback, who's kind of a simple guy. Like, he's a smart guy. He can handle a lot. He can process stuff. But he's a third-year quarterback who was only played quarterback for what, maybe 7, 8 years altogether. Like, he played quarterback at Mississippi State for what, 3, 4 years. But before that, in high school, I want to say he played quarterback 2 years. So, like, I mean, when you look at most quarterbacks in the NFL, they played quarterback since 11. I played quarterback at, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we played quarterback at 11 years old. You know what I mean? Like, all through middle school, you're going to play quarterback. All through high school. You don't change from tight end or whatever position he played to quarterback. And just all of a sudden, you know what I mean? You done picked up everything and you got it all. You ready? Just go throw 40 passes a game. Even people who do play from the time they're 5 years old struggle with throwing the ball 30 plus times a game. You just don't do that in the NFL and win. Not consistently. Even if they change the rules, even if everything changes, if you keep giving those defenses a chance to read in on what you're doing, you know what I'm saying? Look at all your play routes, all your route trees. You know what I'm saying? You basically showed them the entire route tree and half of the playbook. You steady throwing the ball, just throwing it, throwing it, throwing it, throwing. Like, you don't have the personnel to accommodate the style of play that you're trying to coach for. Like, you need to run the ball, bro. And if they're stopping your run, well, we're running the ball. You know what I mean? It's called an identity. And if you let someone change your identity mid-game, you don't have an identity. Now, you can change up some of the calls you're doing. You can make adjustments. But when you change your entire identity during the game, like we've done for 4 games. I've seen it. You know what I mean? 16 carries, 100 some yards Zeke had against Seattle. Um, I think he had like under 20 against the team before that we lost to. Who was that? Who was that we lost to before that? Because it was so many losses that were just like, we didn't have to lose that game. A better coach wins that game. Um, which one was the fourth down where we didn't go for? Was that the Detroit game? Like, I don't know, man. I'm almost lost at this point. I don't even remember who we won, who we beat. You know, so I know we beat the Giants. I know we beat the Jaguars, and we beat another team. At this point, like, literally, the frustration is to the point where it's like, I don't even remember who we beat, bro, because we probably lost the next week. Like, we can't get 2 wins back to back because one game we win or we lose, and then we call him for the coach's job. The next game, coach is really playing. He's really coaching his games. You know what I'm saying? He's coaching his ass off. He's really throwing out all the plays. And then the next game, we're cool with it. He's great. He's gonna coach forever. So we lose. And then the next game, we're calling for his job. So he's gonna try his best. He's gonna win. Penalties are cut down. You know what I mean? Like it's just a never-ending cycle, bro. It's just like the Redskins. When you look at that graphic they showed where they're 28-28-1 in the last 57 games. And I mean, now they're 29-28-1 thanks to a bad coaching, people penalties. Because I heard on the radio somebody was saying this morning, like, well, what if we'd had Dan Bailey? I hope somebody out there was saying that so that you can know you're an idiot. You are an idiot. You do know that guy makes that kick from 47 yards. From 52 yards, he missed the kick. He didn't miss the kick because he can't make that kick. He missed it because he was prepared for a 47-yard kick. All he had to do was go make a 47-yard kick. He made a 47-yard kick. That kick was good. That kick hit the bar. Like, first off, anytime your kick is kicking and he hits the bar, you don't cry, oh, he missed the kick. Unless it's like, you know what I'm saying, 30-yard kick or something. But if he's kicking a 40, 50-yard kick and he hits the bar, I mean, blame the wind, blame the penalty if somebody backs you up 5 yards because they're moving the ball. That's coaching, bro. Like, that is coaching. Your coaches are supposed to make sure that the players are all, you know what I'm saying, in sync and that everything's together. Like, why would you have that kind of breakdown at the end of the game if you had great coaching? And it's not easy to get great coaching, but it's easy to get bad coaching. And a lot of times this year, we've lost games due to bad coaching. Not going for it on 4th and 1 in overtime with 4 or 5 minutes left after you just ran a play where you had Cole Beasley in your backfield with your star running back instead of a fullback or a tight end or goddamn it anything other than a slot receiver who doesn't run the ball and is small, very small, the smallest player on the team almost. Yeah, I mean that's coaching. You know what I mean? Um, and it's other stuff, but like I say, I've got to the point where I've pretty much forgotten who we played and what happened, why we lost, all of these things and more. Like I've just, you know, because the Cowboys starting to get really blah, really. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know if I want to watch next week because we have a coach who does not inspire hope at all. Because he does not inspire anybody. He does not, goddamn it, make you feel like, oh, he's gonna turn it around. I know what he's gonna do. I don't know what the hell he's gonna do. I'm serious. I don't know what Jason Garrett and them gonna do next because it just seems like they have no plan. They have no real direction unless Jerry Jones is speaking it. And I mean, they got no, they got no vigor. They gotta have more vigor because if you don't sit over there and just clap the whole game, bro, if you're not gonna get irate, if you're not gonna lose it and blow your top at some point in your career, like I've never seen this guy lose it or blow his top at any point. I want to say I seen Bill Belichick get mad. I've never seen Jason Garrett even frown up at the ref. Do he frown up at the ref? Somebody send me pictures of him frowning up at a ref because this is the most agreeable guy. Like you would have him over for dinner. You wouldn't mind. I want a coach you would not want over for dinner. You want that coach, hey, listen, coach, I see you on the field. You got to get up out of here because you're rough. I need a rough coach. I need a coach that's loud, that's rough, you know what I'm saying? That's going to holler at you if you ever do something like that. And I know this in the NFL, these grown men, but they're coaches, bro. There are a lot of coaches, good coaches. They got control, man. They got a good grasp of how things are supposed to be. I mean, even young Sean McVay. Look at Sean McVay. Okay, this is a perfect example. And I know this is carrying on long, but like we really should have won the game. I'm not even as mad at the loss as I am at the decision to keep the coaching staff around. You know what I'm saying? Like the defensive coaches, they can't go. They gotta stay. We keep all the defensive coaches. Don't you dare touch them. In fact, I think it's one of them that he was getting mad yesterday. You see what I'm saying? Like that coach showed me, and you know what I'm talking about. I'm not gonna say his name. There is one coach on the defensive side that I do think needs to probably go ahead and head the ship for the rest of the year. But I'll let them figure that out. All I'm saying is, Sean McVay, what I say, our coach don't have no facial hair. That's fucking weird. Okay, that's weird for an NFL coach to not have any facial hair. Bro, like if you're not gonna have facial hair, you need to be successful. You need to like already had success because like you can't come in here smooth faced it and like what is your plan? What are you trying to show us? That you look young? Like I don't get it. Sean McVay, facial hair, a lot of it looks scruffy. When he talks, it sounds forceful. It sounds like a player almost. You know what I mean? He sounds like a player when Sean McVay talks. When Jason Garrett talks, he sounds like an upper management person speaking. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't sound like a player. He doesn't sound like I'm with you guys. It sounds like I'm over you guys. And that's the only thing he takes pride in. When we fired Jason Garrett and hired a coach with some moxie, with some, because we need a coach with some moxie. Our coach has no moxie. He wasn't a starter. You know what I'm saying? He never made, I don't know, maybe he made big plays in college or something. You don't make it to the NFL without making some big plays somewhere. But there's no moxie, man. You can see there's no moxie. He's a professional. He is. He's a professional. He probably would make a better GM. You know what I mean? Because Jason Garrett or an offensive coordinator, he can make a great offensive coordinator for somebody for the right coach. Um, but I mean, it's obvious, man. Like head coach, that's not in his DNA. It's really not in his DNA. You know, because he's not tough enough. He's not. You know, he's not tough enough, bro. He's too smooth, too clean cut, too. He's an America's coach. You know what I mean? For that type of America. But for the type of America that wins and shit, he ain't gonna ever be that type of coach. He's not gonna win games, bro. Look at Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick wore a hoodie. That's the Patriots. You know what I mean? Like that's the Patriots. That's supposed to be classy organization. Bill Belichick wears a hoodie. You know what I'm saying? It's hood. The hoodie is hood, bro. Like if you don't know the hoodie's hood, then you probably don't know. But when Bill Belichick go out there with that hoodie on, that mean, bro, I'm not here to be pretty. I'm not here to look good. Now I don't have on a collar shirt and it's the Dallas Cowboys, just perfect emblem right here. I have on a hoodie. I'm gonna coach football, and I don't really want to talk to y'all about much. Jason Garrett is the most eloquent, nice speaking guy. Hey, yes, guys, it was this and it was that. He's never got nothing smart to say to the media. Say something smart to him. Talk shit. You know why he's never got nothing smart to say? Because he cares about his goddamn job. He cares about his job, not about the team performing, about his job. That's what he cares about. So, I said it after last week, bro. I'm not letting Jason Garrett off the hook. I think he should still be fired. And I think that game was more detrimental to our team than beneficial because, again, we're out there with the loser, with fucking Conor McGregor. He just lost, man. He just got ass whooping. And we all doing his dance. But that's what the shit we do. We do the losing dance. Like sometimes, bro, you just gotta look at this shit. It's mental too, man. Like it's mental too. And that coach, he's not good for the mentality of players. You know what I'm saying? That team, especially with a defense like we got. Man, we got a real defense, bro. We got a real tough defense that can beat people. That can, you know what I'm saying? Our defense can beat people. We were winning that game yesterday based off defense. Like they shouldn't have scored more than 13 points. Shouldn't have happened. Coaching dictated that. You know what I mean? Coaching allowed for them to get a defensive touchdown. Plain and simple. Coaching allowed for that. I'm not gonna blame it on Dak. Like most of the time when I see stuff that happens to Dak, I don't feel like that's Dak doing it. Dak didn't drop the pass and then he got picked off. Twice. And that didn't happen yesterday, but if you followed the season and you seen the game where he threw the two passes and they both got intercepted. You know what I mean? The guys dropped them. But and you say, well, that's the receivers dropping the ball. It's not coaching. But if you're in a position where you could have ran the ball instead of thrown the ball, like I trust Dak on third downs. I trust that his third down percentage will be okay. If it was up to me, yes, most of the time, I'm gonna give Dak one throw per 3 downs. The third down where we can't get it running. You know what I mean? If it's 3rd and 4, hey man, I'm gonna go with my guys. And I'm not gonna do it all game, but at some point, one of these 3rd and 4s, I'm gonna run the ball, bro. We become predictable to a point where it's like, you know they're gonna probably throw it whenever it's an option to throw it. Whenever there's an available option to throw it, Jason Garrett wants to throw it. He's a quarterback. He's a quarterback. You know what I mean? And most offensive coordinators are, quarterback friendly. Your quarterbacks at heart, they just want to throw the ball around. That's all they want to do. It's like Tony Romo said, if it was up to me, they'd all be catches and they'd all be throws because we'd all be throwing it, and they every time they touch the ball, it'd be a catch. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how quarterbacks think. We don't need a quarterback as our head coach. We need a defensive lineman, a linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Give me something else, man. Jason Garrett's got to go. That's basically the premise of the video. Coaching's bad, and the play calling could be better. I don't even blame it on Scott Linehan. I blame it on head coaches not, or a head coach not establishing an identity and letting that guy know exactly what I want, exactly what I'm going to accept, nothing else. You know what I'm saying? And sticking to that. But they wishy-wash back and forth. They usually end up imbalanced, like last night, with a loss due to coaching and poor, time management. So y'all let me know what you think. Scream with me, Fire Jackson here.